Oh no! It's wet. Is this our first? No, it's not. Britain was wet. But this is our first wet qualifying of the season. I will tell you that much for free. Coming bad, yeah, we get good. I really did all with you. Can someone give me a forecast? 20 seconds till we get underway here. Let me know how the audio balance is, because I have a feeling I'm going to need to change it. Have I got my audio correctly? Because my headphones feel really loud. They seem okay. Wet, dry, dry. Thank you, Pixels. Cool! Okay, thank you as well, Williams. I tabbed. I opened Discord. Not really tabbed. I'm on mobile. Anyway, we get going for one-shot qualifying with the greatest camera angle in existence of D Numbers' helmet there. D Numbers and Roscoe's running slightly higher downforce steps. It seems Party to the front, and now Apex to the front. They had a curly. D Numbers all over the show. Oh god, what's going on? King making their debut, I believe, for High Tech. Currently holds a pole on debut. Pixels was there for a split second. I think he's broken too late though. Apex down to 15th. Not sure what's occurred there. Let's just bring up some of the lap data. Finnell behind for, let's look back, the car Virtuosi. Seems to be doing a pretty good job in this rain, I must say. King, though, just holding on to that pole, but not by a lot. The gap is marginal. 56.3 for King. We don't see what Finnell's sector time is, but a lot of these top drivers very close together. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, very, very close together. Anyway, let's hop back up to the front. Last corner now for King. Can they claim pole on debut? It looks like they can with a 23.2. 4 tenths ahead of everyone else. And your championship leader down in 8th. Will be up front for the sprint race, but we'll have a lot of drivers to fight through for the feature. Apex retires. Not sure if that was on track to save time or a genuine incident, but it is King who takes pole on debut for the... Wow. I think that's one of the first times we've seen that happen here. It's pole by 4 tenths for the rookie. 4 tenths back, it's Finnell. A tenth and a bit behind him is Impulse. 4th down goes Broughton, Curly, English, Salmon, D Numbers, Williams, and Dorado for 10th. From 11th back, it was Psycho, Party, Rosenquist, Pixels, and Apex, who was not able to set a time. Pixels with the 1:29, by the way. Nice coincidence there. What happened for D Numbers is what I want to know. Clearly not suited to the rain in these cars. Being very interesting to see how he does. Welcome to the formation lap preceding 14 laps of mayhem here in Austria for round 4 of FVC2. Dorado takes pole for the sprint with the top 10 reversed, followed by A. Williams and D Numbers. Your championship leader, not having a very good qualifying, will be much further back for the feature race. It's up there for the sprint. Salmon starts 4th to lead the Dams pair, followed by English. That is Dams, isn't it? I think it's Dams. We're going to hope it's Dams. Anyway, from there, it's Broughton, Impulse, Finnell, and King, who takes pole by just shy of 4 tenths on debut. 11th went to Psycho, then Party, Rosenquist, Pixels, and Apex after an unfortunate snap of oversteer after running wide through the first corner. Possibly perpetuated by Just Duncan, who has just admitted to the crime in chat. I just watched the clip. That was a bad time to text. It was also quite funny though. Do it again. Don't do it again. Well, you could do it again. I'm not going to tell you to do it again. But I'm not going to stop you from doing it again either. Oh no. We've caused crimes. Dorado comes through the final corner to line up on pole. Okay, good, they have ghosted because they are doing all kinds of madness. D Numbers has just decided he's gone, he wants his place. I think there's a maze of cars behind. Now, when they say park, I don't think they meant weave. Can I just say? You know, these are two slightly different things. D Numbers gets disqualified after being the first one to his grid slot. Finnell does as well. Anyone else? Finnell also with a good qualifying. Been very strong in this championship. Could be a good weekend for him. God, this camera wasn't great. Anyway. Engines come up. Get ready for 14 laps here in Austria as we hit 5 lights. Very long hold there as we get away on the start. D Numbers not going to go start, nor does Dorado. Someone's backwards. That is Rosenquist off the start. A. Williams has to lead into turn 1. All kinds of bumping behind, but we look to all be through cleanly, save for Rosenquist and their spin. Side by side now for D Numbers and Dorado. D Numbers into second, recovering from the start. Nice, but gets tagged by Dorado. It is not going well for the ex-Mercedes duo. Oh, someone on the grass behind. Who is that? Is that Finnell? It is Finnell struggling to make places. Apex into 10th. Oh, someone into the side of Dorado, I think that was. Hugely unfortunate there for the Dams driver. Not a good showing after their dominant almost dominant constructors. Very nearly to be dominant constructors victory in season 5. Williams has the lead by 1.3. Impulse and Dorado fighting behind. Someone's been through the gravel. Yellow flags deployed. Someone is around, in fact. Is that Pixel? Someone side by side. D Numbers on the outside of Broughton. Lovely move there, Broughton. All kinds of crossed up behind. Pixels down to 13th. A. Williams purple. 19.5. Has got 2 seconds in hand already. D Numbers will be coming, but does not seem to be getting on with this track much. Does not seem to like it either from LA Communications. Broughton closes in on the run up to turn 2 and 3. And let's see what happens. Meanwhile, the Virtuosi pair also side by side in the background. It's Broughton up the inside for P2. Does it nicely. D Numbers unable to make the switchback work. Further back, it's still Curly and Finnell side by side. Parsley off wide. 2 Virtuosis getting through unscathed. Now Impulse looking to get up the inside of King, who's trying to make his way back up the field. King, lovely move around the outside there. Let's see what the standing can do. Purple to the first sector for King. That can't be a bad sign. Not first sector, second sector. God, the sector's short around here. The Numbers, though, looking to have another crack on the back of Broughton. Gonna have to start factoring in Dorado and even King eventually. Williams 16-1, purple. What does King do? 15-9, 2/10 clear of the leader. D Numbers on the inside of Broughton there. Very clean driving to not make contact. D Numbers will be looking to make the move on Broughton. No DRS is into play yet. My apologies. Broughton just able to defend the inside though, possibly running a lower downforce setup. Takes the better exit, possibly a bit of an assistance from Dorado there, who has to tuck in behind. But it's King about to get 2 of them, it looks like. If I was D Numbers, I would be quite terrified of King right now, but Dorado looks back up to the inside of King. Bit of contact there, almost Rebel deposited into the gravel trap as we see time and time again. King forced back out, gives Impulse another chance. Impulse unable to get the move done in this middle sector. Understeering wide, maybe running less front downforce than we would ordinarily see from some of these cars. 2 Virtuosis falling back 11th and 12th, clearly not having as much success here in F2 as they did in the F1 cars. Two and a half tenths between the fight for second. 3 tenths now. This is letting Williams run away. They've got to be careful of King as well once he clears Impulse again. Because King will be there and King will not hesitate. Finnell gets... Apex gets right around the outside of Finnell though. loses some time on the social curve. That lets Curly come through. It's the RT driver losing time to both Virtuosos. Psycho coming up as well. What is going on up here? D numbers on the outside of Broughton. I'm very sorry we missed that. Broughton takes the better run out of turn 3 down towards turn 4. Impulse and King also... No, Impulse getting past Dorado. King also getting past Dorado. Not sure what's happened there. D numbers on the back of Broughton. We will follow this fight for quite a while. I think it's going to be a good one. Apex gets back past Curly. Further down. 10th between these two now. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind, we're fine. It's nothing urgent. Anyway, the numbers really on the back of Broughton now. They're going to have to be very careful to not make contact through here. They keep it clean once again. We've seen some great battles between these two before. Someone's around Psycho and Curly. What happened there? Williams Purple 15-9. Both cars off to the right. That is quite a telling story. Party involved as well. It looks like penalty for collision with Salmon. I have absolutely no idea what happened there. Would someone care to fill me in? Salmon in possibly for a new wing, it looks like. Party does the same. Rosencrest will have an opportunity to gain some positions. That is a full safety car that's been deployed for that. What on earth happened? I think Dorado and Curly have come together by the looks of it. Psycho possibly just involved. Dorado complaining of cramp in his foot. Yeah, Dorado's lost a lot of positions as well, actually. I assume he was tangled in that then. We'll just have a little ask of what happened there. Oh, Curly gets an illegal overtake for a collision with Dorado. Has Curly tried to give back position, maybe being hit by Psycho? We are piecing this together as we circulate under safety car. What a race so far. Oh, Apex in. That's a very bold strategy if he doesn't need a wing. It doesn't feel like he does. Oh, okay, we have a story. 4 cars ahead, separated by maybe 5 meters. Curly pushed wide, rejoins and losing control. And then just gets blindsided by Psycho. Seems to be the story on that one. Meanwhile, our leaders are up at the front. Let's bring up Chad again. I keep losing track of it. I keep losing track. I do keep losing track, so keep checking Discord. Anyway. No, that's... Oh god, the cars are so simple between Virtuoso and Dams. Can they not just coordinate better? You know. No, that's not how that works. Anyway. God, sorry if this commentary has been a bit all over the place. It has been 2 weeks. It's not been that long. I have chocolate, so that's why there's a small break. I'm hungry. Nom nom. Where are we? First sector. Let's run through our order. If I could talk properly. So, A. Williams leads, followed by Broughton and D. Numbers, who's not been able to make any progress. And it's Impulse, King, Fiddle, English, Dorado, Pixels, Rosenquist, Apex, Salmon, and Party. The latter two involved in some kind of collision. We're not entirely sure what, but, you know. Chocolate. Safety car stays out for another lap. Oh. I would think we'll be in this time. So, sit with us, folks. We will be racing shortly. Yeah. So, we will be racing this time round. A. Williams leads us from Broughton, and D. Numbers, your title leader. That was not a good words to say. Anyway. Not important, slightly important, but shh. That's not important, okay? A. Williams doesn't start us yet, starts us now! Three-tenths of a gap. The Numbers are immediately looking to get busy behind. Almost gets hit by Impulse. Ping slight bit of oversteer there. That will let English come into the fray. Dorado, big gap behind. What's happened? Apex and Rosenquist go side by side up into turn 2. Apex has the position. No moves for a second just yet. Apex, though, up into 9th. Oh, Rosenquist sideways. This could be bad for them. Party and Salmon both right here. Meanwhile, it's King and Impulse for... It's Impulse and D Numbers even for... I'm so confused. Dorado and Pixels for 7th. Rosenquist gets past Party for 10th. Now it's A. Williams' turn to defend from Broughton. D Numbers no longer a factor for that second place space as we are at the moment. And I'm very curious to see what can King do. Seems to be the fastest driver in this field by a long way. Apex looking to get by Dorado. He had a nice mistake, but Apex just not able to capitalize. Williams, 15-8. Does King go for anything? King does not. Not quite close enough. D Numbers closing on Broughton. Broughton closing on Williams. Will Broughton go for the move on the Carlin into the lead? They do not. D Numbers getting close. Almost contact. Broughton, though, takes a much better than Williams. Absolutely blitzes past the Carlin there. Yellows in the second sector. That is for Rosenquist. Broughton defends from A. Williams. Contact! Both cars seem to be okay as the two Red Bull livery cars coming together. Was that more contact than it looked like it could be? Broughton takes a position. But A. Williams gets a much better drive. On this side, very important place that the two Rebel livery cars come together. All 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. That is absolutely terrible for your top 5. D Numbers comes off best in 5th, but has lost part of that wing, I believe. Absolute disaster up front, and it's the King involved as well. D Numbers missing an end play. English into the lead. Williams forced to box, as is King. Impulse chooses to start with the damage. Absolute nightmare. King, 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. It is English who takes control. Apex promoted to the podium. Pixels is 4th. D Numbers looking to immediately make moves on Pixels as Apex looks to make a move on Dorado for second. Wheel banging. Dorado could not have squeezed Apex much more there. Dorado with a better exit. Apex though just gets that mid exit traction. We'll run with it. Other acceleration. There we go. Pixels has been passed by D Numbers. Pixels and Salmon. Pixels holding the inside. Runs wide though. So does Salmon. So does Finnell. No, that is Pixels wide. That's right. Salmon comes through Pixels. Comes through Pixels. Goes by Pixels. Close enough. Ooh, helicopter cam. We like that. It is one hell of a battle for 5th here. Oh, someone with a snap of oversteer there. That was Broughton? I want to say? But look at who is who. This is so terrifying. Not terrifying. Well, a bit terrifying. It's confusing. More inplay goes flying. 15-7 by English. 15-6 by Pixels. Parsley and Finnell side by side. Finnell will hold the outside. But Parsley just gets up the inside. Lovely move though. But immediately takes a worse exit than both Finnell and Broughton. Possibly losing both positions by the time we get up to turn 2. We'll be side by side with Broughton into turn 3. Ryan holds the outside but gets a little bit pinched in there by Finnell. Broughton, of course, keep very nice to the inside, but eventually Parsley just losing out on the straight line speed. Now Apex with the tyre advantage, a second to close to get to English. Did the safety car gamble work out well? Salmon holding on for 5th against Pixels. No, wait, Dino is holding on for 4th against... I cannot work out what it is with these cars and deltas. I can't reason it in my head properly. Unku with the clip as Apex goes purple. 15-1. Isn't able to put time on English though. English putting away by... That doesn't make sense. Okay, we're going to roll with it. Salmon in 5th, just 3 tenths behind D Numbers. D Numbers nursing a stricken car home. Let's see what happens between these two. Salmon doesn't make the move yet. Salmon goes purple to the first sector on that fresher, well, maybe not fresher, but certainly quicker rubber. Finnell and Broughton side by side for 7th and 8th. These are 2 awful camera angles. King purple, 14-5 on those softs. Williams to get past the Williams quickly. There's contact between Broughton and Finnell. Pixels off ahead. Pixels could be about to lose both positions. He loses the position to Finnell, but tries to get the car back on the inside. Won't get it done. Broughton around the outside. Broughton, Pixels contact. Pixels very large half spin. Will have to struggle to keep that car ahead of Impulse. Doesn't do it though. Just lets Impulse go past. Meanwhile up front it is English who rounds the penultimate corner. Now the final corner to take the sprint win. Here in Austria, I believe that is first win of the season, maybe second, but it's Apex who comes... Did we just start the final? We did just start the final lap. Ignore that then. A second between these two. It is still left to fight for. Meanwhile, it's 3 tenths for 4th. D Numbers and Salmon. Will D Numbers be able to make the move into turn 3 here? Broughton and Finnell as well. Broughton will be looking to take the inside. D Numbers does not get up the inside, but Broughton does get up the inside of Finnell. Finnell also nursing a damaged car home. Was he involved in the 5-car collision? Yes, I know, it was a bit early, Unku. Let's see. Finnell defends the inside on Broughton. Broughton using all of the track space available. This Finnell's position for the moment. Side by side, but up front, half a second between the pair. Broughton really getting underneath of that virtuosity. Broughton side by side. Makes the move out wide though. That lets Finnell come back through. Finnell, big moment of oversteer. That lets Broughton run with it. Meanwhile, it is English who does come around the final corner for the final time. This time, lap 14 comes home to take the sprint win here in Austria. Then it's Apex, just 3 seconds behind, followed by Dorado, D numbers, Salmon, Broughton and Finnell, led by Broughton, Finnell, then it's Party, led by Party and Impulse. Pixels comes home in 10th, but unfortunately it's not points this time. Rosenquist will be next, but there is a battle ongoing for 12th on track. King will struggle to keep it though with the penalty that he has picked up for a speeding violation. Rosenquist very wide through the final corner, but comes home nicely. Final opportunity for Raven to get past King. He does not, so it's King that leads us, followed by A. Williams, but they swap places on penalties. This has been the Austrian sprint race for FVC2 Season 3. We will see you shortly. I want to go and rewatch this Cascade crash as Apex, driver of the day with the most positions gained. 15th to 2nd. That might be one of the largest position gains we have ever seen in the entirety of FVC, not just FVC2. I'm sure Pixels will fact check that later. Sorry Pixels, I've got to put your name up for that now. But that was an incredible drive and an incredible strategy to take there. But will compromise him for the feature race. But it is this man, OJ English, who is on top for our podium. So it is OJ English who wins a, well, I was going to say dominant, a very lucky sprint race for the Dams drive, with the top 5 taking each other out. Takes 10 points home for the Dams team. From there, it is Apex who comes home in 2nd, and Dorado who rounds out our podium. From there, it was D numbers, Salmon, Broughton, Finnell, Party, Impulse, and Pixels to round out your top 10. Followed by Rosenquist, Williams, King, and Psycho, who is your first DNF, followed by Curly. An unfortunate incident between those two as well, beginning the absolute carnage that unfolded for our top 5 after the safety car restart. The green lights come on again as we get going for our feature race formation. It is King, your pole sitter, who leads us away this time for 20 laps of Austria. From there, it went Finnell, Impulse, Broughton, Curly, the two... what cars are the Dams pairing of English and Salmon. Then it went D numbers, A. Williams, Dorado to round out your top 10. And Psycho, Party, Rosenquist, Pixels, and Apex. An unfortunate spin in qualifying, but a heroic recovery drive to take 2nd in the sprint race. Nom nom nom. As we round the final corner, it is Finnell who leads us up to the grid. Then it'll be King, your rightful pole sitter. Nice drive this went behind, and let's have a look at the tyres. Everyone on the soft aside from King and Psycho, who opts for hard. I'm not sure if that'll be the play with possible safety cars, but we will see. King has the pace to make it work. passes your only parking disqualification. Someone very sideways there. Is that English? Yeah, it might be. It is. Lights come on though. All 5 of them. And we are away for the feature race here in Austria. King gets away well, but Finnell gets away better. It's Finnell up the inside for the lead. King takes it back from the outside. Impulse and Curly go side by side on the run up. It's all kinds of three wide behind though. Impulse takes it one side. Carnage behind. Someone's off. Salmon very far off. Pixels not involved, but debris absolutely everywhere. Be surprised that's on the safety car of some kind. We seem to be okay. Pixels with a double overtake on Apex, and that must mean Party. Up front, English and D Numbers. D Numbers looking to recover from a poor qualifying. Up front, Broughton trying to push up to Finnell. I love watching these cars go through corners like that. Curly's on the back of Impulse. Let's see if anything happens between these two. Curly backs up early, maybe trying to maximize the run through the final corner. Possibly struggling with some understeer on that car. It doesn't look very stable. Williams boxes King, 89 purple. Will be compromised for the start of this, well, for the feature race after an unfortunate tangle in the sprint. Oh, hang on, we're under a safety car. Why? Why we're under a virtual safety car? Oh, Psycho's gone out. Where? God, I'm oblivious today. That makes sense. I wondered why I heard Finnell back off. Uh-oh. Rosenquist with damage to the left side end plate of that car. Not sure when we'll be getting going. We don't tend to get a message anymore, which is quite unfortunate. Cody's, we'd like that for the next game, please and thank you. Because we used to. And then Cody's did the Cody's and decided, nope, not anymore. We racing? We seem to be without speed. DRS gets enabled. We are racing once again. King immediately under threat from both Finnell and Broughton. From there, it's the Numbers making a move on English, but Finnell into the lead round the outside on King. King holds inside in that number 7. Finnell closes up nicely, looks inside, doesn't make it work. Let's see what these 3 can cook. 2 tenths between them. King will have his work cut out to defend on that slower tyre, but also seems to have the pace from both qualifying and that sprint race. Broughton just 2 tenths back from Finnell. If these 2 fight too much, they will let King run. Broughton out wide, so is Finnell really maximising the track there. Broughton taking too much inside curve though, bounces off the sausage. What can Finnell do to King? Impulse purple, 59. Finnell thinking about the outside. King defending inside very well there, but gives Finnell the much better exit. DRS comes into play. Finnell once again looking to the outside, bringing Broughton along with him this time. They are still side by side. King breaks later. Broughton breaks later than both of them round the outside. But it's Finnell who gets away fastest. 3 wide for the lead here in the feature race. This can only end in tears. Finnell gets ahead though, Broughton round the outside of King. King losing 2 places in one straight. Impulse now coming to say hello. They've kept it clean and commend them for doing it so. But what? That was not English whatsoever. I'm not having a stroke, I promise. Oh! Impulse with a massive snap of oversteer there. Does well to save it. To number 15. Okay. That's interesting. For other reasons, not... Anyway. Broughton, 2 turns on Finnell. Many purple laps. Went to Broughton for a moment. Then the numbers, then English. 15-4 for like 3 of them, that looked like. Broughton takes the wheel into that social curve. Will have the advantage into turn 3. Will have more straight line speed. King is going to have to try and deal with the cars behind soon enough. Broughton goes for it on the inside. Can't tell who's ahead, but Broughton is there. Broughton is by. Finnell having a look. King having a look on Finnell. Doesn't quite get the exit that he needs. Will have the slipstream though. Looks to take the outside. Looks to the inside. Doesn't make the move, but Impulse makes the move into the diffuser of that car. That will almost definitely be boxing this lap, I would say, with the damage. He might be okay to carry on, but I would be hesitant to. The numbers putting pressure on Curly now. The numbers just making a slight mistake as we look at that, though. The top 6, all in contention for the lead here, but I would think we'll be seeing Impulse dropping off quite quickly. For Impulse, I would be straight in for those hard compound tyres. Impulse is not. Sticks it out. Is brave. Curly getting close though. Might try and make moves to turn 1. Broughton purple. 15-4. Won't get it down into turn 1. Might have an opportunity into turn 3. Impulse slow on the exit. Or sorry, in the mid-speed, but gets a better exit. What happens up front? Broughton seems to hold it. Nothing Finnell can do. Nothing King can do to Finnell. Nothing Impulse can do to King. But something Curly can do to Impulse. It's the 2 AlphaTauri teammates dueling for 4th. English in 8th, looking to put pressure on the driver, but looking to have a little bit of a moment through turn 3. Does not get the exit he needs. Gap increased by 6/10, and that is Rosenquist round into the ground. We'll get to going nicely though. Still your top 6 in contention for the lead. Will we see a repeat of the sprint race? Apex, your biggest beneficiary from that sprint race incident, up into 9th. King though looking to challenge the top 2, looking to challenge the 2 cars on the faster compound. Is the only one still committed to something on the hards and goes purple with a 15-4, a statement of intent. Meanwhile, Rosenquist sits in the wall with a broken wing. The leaders will come on by cleanly. Up to the front, it's Broughton who now has a 7/10 gap on Finnell, has pulled 4/10 out. King closing up to the back of that Virtuosi very nicely. Doesn't get the greatest exit on that harder compound of tyre. Yellow flags again for Rosenquist. Not sure what's up with that car. Right side end plate is missing, I think, the upper wing element. So that car has clearly been through it. It is your top 6 separated by just 3 seconds. 2.4 even. That is absolutely incredible to see. And once again, we have a multi-car fight on our hands here. But in my opinion, King is looking to be the biggest beneficiary from it. Impulse continuing to nurse that car home. Oh great, I have time low in my chess game. King, 15-2, is closing to the back of Finnell. Finnell closing to the back of Broughton. Broughton maybe pushing the tyres a little bit too hard. The lack of aero proving to be a disadvantage for the health of those tyres. Finnell looks inside, won't get it done, but close that gap to a 10th for just a second there. Someone gets a bad exit, but Finnell puffs the first sector. That was D numbers with a half spin. Meanwhile, English gets past Toronto around the outside in the background there. Finnell and Broughton side by side. I'm sorry we missed that. Did not think anything was on there. 2/10 between Broughton and Finnell. This fight is not over. Broughton has no, Finnell has lost the place to Broughton. I'm very sorry we missed that move for the lead. But it's not over. Finnell will have the DRS for the upcoming... No, Broughton was leading. Yeah, Broughton was leading. I'm sorry, I'm all over the show. Once again, King is back in contention. 2/10 back. 3/10, 4/10, 4.5. The gaps are very fluid at this stage in the race. Let's see what happens between our top three here, separating a nice gap to the stricken Campos of Impulse. Finnell though, massive moment. This is very good for King, who comes through, and even better for Broughton, who ends up with an over 9/10 gap, I believe. Will Finnell make the move back on King? Does not, can't quite break late enough now. Those softs starting to die off. I think that we'll need to leave those hards out a little bit longer than the other cars will have to. Could create a very interesting dynamic towards the end of this race. I think once that car gets in clean air, once that ART, once that high-tech even, is in clean air, I think it's going to run away, to be honest. .7, half a second, 1.3 back, 6/10 to 1.1. Your leaders previously split over 4.6 seconds, now split over 2. That's not right. Gaps. Oh, what's happened? Rosenquist to turn 1. Rosenquist boxes the top few box. Finnell and King, the only one to out. King, 15-2. King will run. Virtual safety car is deployed for Rosenquist, who struggles to get going. Full safety car is deployed even. That could be perfect timing. Drivers such as Impulse, D Numbers, Curly, Broughton, English for your lead. Meanwhile, I was trying to work out what the gap was between our top few. I think everyone will be in now, and King needs to box. Can make 10, can possibly, well no, won't be able to. Rosenquist backwards, not sure what's going on with that MP today. But King and Finnell in the worst position out of this lot. Once again, it is another full safety car that gets deployed. Rosenquist getting stuck appearing to be the cause of that safety car. Let's go make my chess move, shall we? Why have you moved? Okay, I don't play chess very much, so I'm gonna... Oh, you can go there. Yeah, why not? Right, hang on, I need to control my instincts. Wrong! Let's see if King boxes. I would think Finnell certainly will. King does as well. So, I'm going to see what tyres everyone's on, and has Impulse fixed that wing? He has. That drops him behind Impulse behind English. With a stronger car, we might just be okay. Has to back off for Delta, respected, or it will end your race. Pixels and Dorado also boxing. Finnell and King do as well. Curly drive through, speeding under the safety car. That will put a firm end to his attempt at winning today. Eldorado and Apex looking to emerge. Apex will have to try and beat out Impulse. Impulse falling much further down the order than he would have planned for. But, fresh wing on that car, might be able to make up some time. Now, I'm noticing some familiar faces at the sharp end of this grid. Some familiar faces that were also up there before the absolute cascade that occurred in the sprint race after that safety car restart. Names such as King, Finnell, and the numbers involved. I think the only driver to miss out on it was Curly. Of course, A. Williams down at the dull end of the grid in 13th, also involved in that crash. Originally coming together with Braun oversteering into the numbers and collecting the rest. So let's see. Are we about to repeat fate? That was... well, God, that was not what I wanted to say. But you know what? We'll go with it. Meant to say repeat history, but... well, that's another thing that are happening today, apparently, so we go with that. Rosenquist boxes to quit out of the game, emerges with a broken front wing for their AI. I give it 1, maybe 2 more laps under this safety car, and it is looking good for King, who was held on to the lead, gaining a couple of tenths there from not stopping as early as he could have with the rest of the field. Finnell also the beneficiary. Your top 3 have pretty much reversed in order. Curly also in good stead, but with a drive-through penalty, it's not going to be nice. I think this here to be investigated after the race. What have I got here? Let's have a look. Formula Velocity TV says investigate. Oh, more Unku does. I'm very curious to watch this clip, so let's find out. Rosenquist spins. Oh. Are we investigating while I think we're investigating, Unku? What are we investigating? I'm so confused. Hang on. We look to have another lap under safety car. Okay, Twitch, go away now. I'm trying to look at my stream chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, stream. Thank you, Twitch. I believe we'll be going this time, I would say. I see. So we have a driver under investigation. Can't really tell why. But someone is under investigation from Unku, it seems. So we will see how that plays out after the race. More news to follow. Should we go and raid Apex after this for fun? I think we will, because I have a button for that now. So Apex, we're gonna raid you! I'm very hyped today. 8 to 10, 7 laps to go. I don't think we're far from another titanic fight for the lead. Safety car comes in this time. Get ready to go, folks. It'll be King that leads us from Finnell, from Broughton, from Curly, the numbers, English, Dorado, Apex, Impulse, Pixels, Party, Bakers, Williams, and Rosenquist, whose AI will be taking over for the duration, for the remainder of this race, I should say. Salmon, 5 seconds for a collision with Party, won't affect your lead. King goes for it. Has half a second on Finnell, 3 tenths on Broughton, 9 tenths, 1.2. Oh no! The numbers gets, I don't know if he proves himself off or got a head or what, but big damage there to that car. King gets away, 7 tenths in hand. More carnage, Pixels, Impulse involved. A Williams seems to have made it out cleanly. So let's see, does Apex up into 4th once again, could be on for another podium. But it is King, who has already pulled out a 2nd, is running away with this. The only thing that can stop that car is a puncture. 2 1/4 seconds between Finnell and Broughton. There's a little bit of nudging there, a little bit of contact. Whoa, Broughton! Oh, keeps it out of the wall. Very good save, but will have his work cut out to get back to Finnell. It is the race where everyone drops the rear, it seems. Apex really in contention for a podium now. Two Red Bull cars behind. We know what happened when they got too close. We know how when we saw two. Oh, whoa! What's happening? Why is Apex there? I assume that could only been caused by a half in the some sort. Carney looks for it, won't get it done. We'll have to box to serve a drive-through. No one behind. It is A. Williams and Salmon side by side. King Purple 14-4. Carly Pitts. It's the battle for something. I say battle for fifth for the moment. The numbers in for a new wing, 5 seconds for speeding. It is all falling apart for your championship leader. Would not be surprised to see Finnell to take over the lead of the standings here. A. Williams looking to make a move on Salmon, looks around the outside, won't get down the hole, take the switchback though, gets a much nicer exit, but it's on quite old soft. Little bit of, is that graining on the front right there. Half a tenth between them, not half a second, half a tenth, quarter of a tenth. A. Williams at the inside, contact, but A. Williams takes it. Apex now on the back of Dorado, looking to try and put time on Party, because those softs will come. Dorado a little bit wide. 3 tenths between the two. Apex, don't take too much curve or it will spin you into the gravel, as you had already almost found out. Apex looking to make the move on Dorado, won't get it done, almost spinning, pushing that car to the absolute limit to try and get back into the top 5. 4 tenths, 3.5 tenths, 3.25 tenths. Party wide, Impulse, that will give Williams a chance to close even. I can get names right, I promise. A. Williams to the inside of Party for 7th, keeps it in there, gets it past very nicely. Good stuff. Now it's Apex who gets a much better run on Dorado around the outside. Dorado clearly struggling for traction a little bit. Will Dorado be able to get a move back? Doesn't look like it just yet. Apex holds position, as does Party ahead of Salmon. Williams very close to the back of that ART, but not ART, it's Charouz even. I can tell you what cars they are. They're only 8 races deep, 4 races deep. I can really, well, technically 8 races deep, we'll count it. Thank you, brain. But this could be the fight we are watching. You see English and Broughton go past there. Fight for 3rd will be on soon, but right now it's the fight for 5th, 2.5 tenths. See the pit boards just being pulled in there. Hey, the new transmission from Icarus, hell yeah. This is an energy I follow. But anyway, enough of that. 3 tenths between Dorado and Apex. Apex holds it for the moment, getting a much better exit out of turn 3 once again. This is bringing Williams into the fray on that much faster tyre. We'll have to be very careful that they don't explode. The numbers purple, 14-3. Will King respond is the question. Can King respond is my question. Williams closing up to Dorado. Let's see what happens between these two. Yellow flags come out. That is English in trouble. English have Finley in trouble, spinning out of the podium. Seems to be in a straight line though, so just without an actual half spin or a full 360. A. Williams though, also very twitches. The two Red Bulls that are about to be racy. Let's see what happens. 10th between two people somewhere. Not sure where I saw that come in. But it is all happening. Salmon getting close to the back of Party as well. Gets the move done nicely as Party runs wide. 3 tenths between Dorado and Williams. Williams is closing. Could go for something into turn 4 if he's close enough. And he might be, you know. 3 tenths. No, hang on. A. Williams and Dorado. I cannot tell who is who. But that gap is closing. Will he look into turn 4? He will from a mile back! Contact, but almost a flawless move there from A. Williams. Chaos the inside for turn 5, won't be able to take advantage for turn 6 even, won't be able to take advantage of it, has it for turn 7 but backs out, does not want a repeat of the sprint race. Been told to disregard the investigation, so that driver is now clear. 2 tenths between Dorado and Williams. Will there be a change of position this time round? 2 laps left to do it. A. Williams on the outside, has to back out, but has a much nicer, tighter, faster line on Dorado. Dorado gets the better exit. Side by side for these two, almost side by side for English and Fiddle as well for third. A. Williams, Dorado even gets back up the side of Williams. Williams though takes the better exit. Contact between the pair almost sends them both into the wall. They hold it. Meanwhile for third, it's Fiddle and English. Fiddle has the outside. Fiddle right around the outside of English there. English is unable to compete, or is he? Takes the much nicer on the inside. Fiddle nursing a stricken car home. Side by side between these two with 2 laps left to do it. Turn 5 is a nice one. Turn 6 even. English has the outside on Fiddle, but Fiddle has the position for the moment. Bumper to bumper for these two. You can tell what racing I normally watch if I'm saying bumper to bumper. No, you can't really just tell it's not Formula Racing, but English looks to the inside through the penultimate corner. English very racy, looking to get right back through. Well, A. Williams does take the position off Dorado, can only seem to have him at turn 4. It's 1 lap left to do it. 1 lap if English wants to claw his way back onto this podium, and it's 1 lap for them to come together and allow Apex through for a double podium. Yellow flags come out, that is for Party in the pit lane. English looks to the outside of Finnell, takes a better exit out of turn 2, but doesn't quite get the acceleration. Has the entry speed, but just not the straight line speed to match. Finnell could be safe, 3 tenths. Will English go for something optimistic? He will not, knows better than that. 3 tenths between the pair. Who will come out on top in the final lap here in Austria? Battles up and down the field. A. Williams on the back of Apex. But jumping up to the front, it is King who rounds the final corner for the final time to come home to win the feature race. A dominant drive after the pit stops. Broughton will be next. But behind, it's Fiddle and English for third. Fiddle leads us. English comes home 4th. Apex just staying ahead of... oh, hang on. A. Williams has spun the last moment. Apex 5th. Dorado 6th. Salmon 7th. Salmon 5 taking onside penalty. Will Impulse be able to take it off him? Impulse does. A. Williams. Williams does not by 4 tenths. Pixels will be next to take the checkered flag in 10th. Points for ART. Curly next in 11th. Party in 12th after a very late stop. Not entirely sure why that happened. Can only think tyre related. It's Party 12th. And D Numbers will be next in 13th, coming home with a penalty after a very unfortunate incident on one of these safety car restarts. Oh, into the wall for D Numbers! And it is Rosenquist who comes across out of your screen. A truly fantastic set of races here from Austria. Apex once again takes drive of the day as per allocated from the game. I can get behind that 15th to 4th. But it is this man, King, who takes the top step of the podium after a truly dominant drive here in the feature race. Pole by 4 tenths, wins by 8 seconds. A fantastic job today from the high-tech stand-in. High-tech stand-in? They might be full-time. I'm not sure. I hope they're full-time, because they can put on a show. So, it is King who wins your feature race with a time of 27:37.27. Broughton takes the second step of your podium for Prema. followed by Finnell. To round out your podium for Virtuosi, once again a driver who has always been in contention for this fight and for multiple wins throughout the season. Fourth down went to English. Apex resides to 5th, not sure how that happened. Dorado 6th, Impulse 7th, Salmon 8th, Williams 9th, and Pixels to round out your top 10 and your points scorers. 11th went to Carly, followed by Party, D Numbers, Rosenquist, and Psycho. Your only DNF of the day. We are still not sure what happened with that one, but by my reckoning, it is a instant into the pit lane wall. Regardless, this has been Season 3 of FVC2, live to you on a Thursday night at twitch.tv/FromVelocityTV. I have been your commentator, and we will see you in a week's time for Round 5.